Another update on my truck. Got the cab back on, truck bed back on, transmission and engine in. That's the paint job. Did much better on the fenders. Gotta get the wiring done. But first, need to get the steering column in for the turn signals, hazards, and what else was there? Yeah, that's for that. Most of the wiring is done, it just needs to be tidied up. When the steering column comes in, there's also a reverse switch, which is this guy right here needs to get moved to. That's for reverse. Gonna reuse this for the windshield wipers. Got a brand new headlight switch, so I'm gonna reuse the older style headlight switch instead of using buttons, switches and stuff like what I was doing over here. That's gonna be redone. Looking real nice. All brand new bushings, cab bushings, and of course bushings up front for radiator support. Most of these wires are gonna have to be redone. Just moved and reorganized. The new steering column also comes with an actual working, what is it called? Ignition switch. The old one, even with a brand new replaced cylinder, the fucking thing would jam up, and then if you know what you're doing, you know how these things are easily popped. You can easily steal one of these trucks if that's all only safety they have. Thankfully the new one doesn't have that issue, and I will still have, this is fuel injected, so all I have to do is pop out the computer, which will be located inside the vehicle. So I just take right here, I just pop this thing off, pull out the computer, and then the vehicle won't be able to run, let alone be stealable. You can't steal something that doesn't start. These are the vent tubes right now. They're gonna need to be cut. I'm thinking to run them on the inside of the cab. Cab body has holes, so I can make my the truck bed. Make another hole in this corner, and then have it mounted on the side right here. Same with that one. Just make a hole. There's already a hole in that corner, but make it a little bit bigger. Come up, mount it onto the side behind, hopefully, these little spots right here. Leaving the truck bed as a rusty piece of shit because it's too far gone to even give a shit about, and it's going to still be used as a truck bed, so I don't see a reason why you would want to get new parts for something you're going to be tossing material into and scratching up. This thing is still solid enough where it can take quite a few more years of use. Gotta clean up these end bolt holes for the before I put the tailgate back on. yeah, should be put back together if everything comes in next week. Drive shafts probably won't be done until Monday. They might call today, but it'll probably be Monday. Need to clean this guy up before I reinstall it. This is part of the steering column. Or should I say this attaches to the steering column and then goes to the power steering gearbox. For my gearbox, they don't have a new, what is it called? Clutch. This guy right here. I bought one, and the one that was provided for my year, make and model, this section right here that attaches is bigger. So I'm assuming that they used, I'm assuming it's for the 2-wheel drive, since it didn't say 4-wheel drive or 2-wheel drive. It said power steering though, so obviously power steering 2-wheel drive must have a higher or bigger spline or something different with that. We're using this guy. Had to rebuy off of eBay. Let's see if it will focus. This part down here, not the painted part. The part that goes in the gear, that goes plastic gear that goes in here and pushes out this way. Because that nut down there, now this is obviously not, come on focus, original nut, but the original nut rusted onto the shaft, and even after I sprayed it W40 and stuff, it was already too far gone and immediately snapped off, which made the bolt and the shaft useless. So luckily there's some people on eBay, and it's pretty cheap. Buy that part. You can't see it, but yeah, you can actually, there's a locking ring in here right there. You can see up against the shaft, you can see the split. Pop that off, take off some washers, go back inside, make sure it's clear. Have some bits and bobs that are over on the side for the, I don't know what the fuck that is, but it has something to do with the water pump. And then you just take it and tap it out. Just press fit, very lightly press fit, so it's not too difficult. Yeah. Frame, decent shape, all painted. Multiple coats, so it should be perfectly protected. I need to get that shit off. The guy that did the sandblasting used blue painter's tape, and you don't want to use blue painter tape, you want to use the brown shit. The blue stuff seems to stick pretty bad. The brown shit doesn't, it comes off pretty easily. For anyone who is going to be blasting their vehicle and painting off areas, taping off areas, use the brown painter's tape. Also, it helps if you don't be blasting directly on areas you've taped off. For instance, these areas were taped off, right? It wasn't too bad rusted, but he blasted directly into those holes, just straight into them. Ended up just filling the whole interior with sand. Yeah, the whole thing. I mean, if you vacuumed, wiped down, and vacuumed again, probably is gonna. It's like anybody who's ever been on the sand dunes. You end up having sand in your vehicle for years afterwards. But this is all in the cab. So yeah, whenever the drive shafts show up, I can attach those too. And the vehicle's already ready to start. It just needs all the lighting and the starter cable. This is pretty sure it goes to this thing. Hooked up. But yeah, that's this. That's the truck right now. I'll show you the fenders. Don't mind all the dog shit. That's a lot of it. Fender one. That's basically how they both look. Quite difficult to see without taking it into the light. And I don't really want to. Probably see it later on another video. I'll take a video of the vehicle in the sun after it's all put back together. This is my painting booth. Yes, ghetto, but it works. But yeah, the paint on these things came out way better than the truck cab. Probably because there was no airflow, no sand or trees to drop shit on. Right? I just had to clean up the cobwebs. But this thing came out fucking nice. Probably would be nice to get a what's it? Brain damage right now. Not a sander, it's a polisher. Yeah, polish this stuff up. I don't know if it's called polishing either, but you know what it is when you do is paint. Clean up the paint. You can see, even though the paint job's really nice, there is a little bit of rippling effect going on, which isn't bad. But a very light polish would probably clean that right out. You can see that damage on it. It's a little dinged. Don't even know where that's even from. This is brand new. Or newish. I've had it for like 2 years. The inside of these, I'm leaving black. I'm not painting the interior since it's in the engine bay and it's going to get scratched up a lot. And it's going to be mounted too. Not going to be really seeable. My kitty cat. Little mouse. This is called a cat cage. Got a window open, so he has access to the interior. We want to focus. And it lets it go outside and use the little box without it running out and getting hit by a truck. Well, that's the last bit. Got to update on the truck.